Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for this webinar. My name is Lee, and I'm a Business Development Manager here at Argentum. Today, I'll be talking about Horizon Europe funding for companies under Cluster 1, Health. Before I start, allow me to give you a very brief introduction to our company. Argentum specializes in EU research and innovation funding. The company was established in 1999 and since then has had vast experience and gained expertise in obtaining governmental funding for innovative technology and research and development. We have around 30 employees divided into 3 departments: business development, strategy, and a consulting and writing team. Our vision is to target innovative funding opportunities and to enhance participation and success in multinational research and innovation projects. Argentum is aligned with the EU Commission's goals and works closely with NCPs in order to deepen the understanding of EU directives, guidelines, and value chains. It is Argentum's objective to become the leading expert in cooperation between overlapping technological sectors in the EU. The EU's budget for the years 2021 to 2027 is 1.21 trillion euros, and you can see how it is distributed in the donut chart on this slide. 12% single market innovation and digital, 36% for cohesion, resilience and values, 33% natural resource and environment, 10% for other programs, and 9% neighborhood and the world. The first stage of funding is choosing the call proposal. When a company chooses a grant for submission, they should consider the following criteria. The field. Bottom up is a call that's open to all fields of technology, whereas top down would be a specific call that's aligned with the EU's agenda. They should also consider the type of funding mechanism. The European one, supported by the EU, like Horizon Europe. Bilateral, for example, a technological collaboration between 2 countries or a national funding initiative. They should consider the type of application procedure as well, whether the submission is as a single applicant or as part of a collaborative project, a consortium. The choice should be made according to the company's needs and strategy, and while considering the success rate of each opportunity. There are 6 Horizon Europe destinations under the health cluster, and I will be going over each of these in more detail while talking about specific calls under each point. All the calls in these destinations are for 2023. To date, only the draft has been published, and for this reason, we still lack details of budgets and deadlines. The first call I will mention under destination Staying Healthy is the Silver Deal, Person-Centered Health and Care through the EU. The scope for this call is: new tools and care models are needed that reinforce primary care in preventive health care through better early detection linked with improved risk management, digital technologies, occupational health aspects, patient participation and empowerment. New elderly care systems and services should also be taken into account. The importance of addressing health challenges such as frailty, balance disorders, falls prevention, musculoskeletal disorder prevention, and early detection of diseases, dementias, social and mental isolation is of the utmost importance. The focus for the second call, improving population level screening, strategies and programs for non-communicable diseases, will be on exploring new avenues for screening and making recommendations for coordination among the authorities and actors involved in screening programs at different ages and for different disease areas, such as breast, cervical, and colorectal cancer. Destination 2 focuses on filling knowledge gaps in the understanding of the impacts on our health and well-being of those environmental, occupational, and socio-economic risk factors that have the most significant or widespread social impacts. The scope for the first call mentions that planetary health is a new concept focused on the interdependencies between human health and the state of Earth's complex natural systems. A key focus is on understanding how the current trend of human-related environmental degradation can affect the health and well-being of future generations. The second call here is global coordination of exposome research. The concept of the exposome refers to the totality of environmental exposures, diet, lifestyle, occupational, and environmental factors from conception onwards, including its external and internal components. And for the third, evidence-based interventions for promotion of mental and physical health in changing working environments. The focus here is on the emergence and persistence of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has accelerated the pace of change. Additional challenges for the co-workers' mental health, looking at stress, exhaustion, and social isolation, intensifying already existing physical risk factors. The aim is to promote a healthy, safe, and well-adapted work environment in the EU. Communicable and non-communicable diseases cause the greatest amounts of premature death and disability in the EU and worldwide. Destination 3 addresses an urgent need for research and innovation to develop new prevention measures, public health interventions, diagnostics, vaccines, and so on, as well as to improve existing prevention strategies to create tangible impacts. The first call towards a European partnership on brain health wants to pave the way for future partnerships. This coordination action will develop a structured system of exchange of information between policymakers, funders, and other relevant bodies in order to establish synergies and avoid duplication of efforts. The second call here focuses on developing and advancing broad-spectrum antiviral compounds and develop novel approaches to the development of such compounds, which target viruses with high epidemic or pandemic potential for the EU. There are 4 relevant calls under this destination, which focuses on health systems becoming more effective, efficient, accessible, sustainable, and resilient. I will speak about the scope of 2. The call, environmentally sustainable and decarbonized health and care systems, focuses on the healthcare sector being responsible for 4 to 5% of global total carbon emissions and generating significant demands for energy and materials, as well as dangerous waste streams. The goal of call maintaining access to regular care in case of cross-border health emergencies is to be better prepared for the multiple challenges faced by health and care systems in health emergencies and to ensure that necessary access to regular care can be maintained. These impact areas overall are good health and high-quality accessible healthcare, a resilient EU prepared for emerging threats, climate change, mitigation and adaptation, high-quality digital services for all, and finally, a competitive and secure data economy. Destination 5 focuses on emerging and disruptive technologies, offering big opportunities for transforming healthcare, thereby promoting the health and well-being of citizens. The calls for proposal cover 4 separate areas: high-quality digital services for all, a competitive and secure data economy, industrial leadership in key and emerging technologies that work for people, and good health and high-quality accessible healthcare. The scope of the first call here focuses on the integration of health data from multiple sources, for example, electronic health records, medical imaging, laboratory and diagnostic results, and other clinical research data, by linking real-world and clinical research data. The second call looks at the fact that virtual twin models could accelerate translational research towards cost-effective development of new health technologies, transform clinical processes and healthcare with longitudinal monitoring, personalized medicine, disease prevention, and individualized patient management. Destination 6 shows us that the health industry is a key driver for growth and has the capacity to provide health technologies to the benefit of patients and providers of healthcare services. Calls for proposal under this destination are directed towards key strategic orientation, promoting an open strategic autonomy by leading the development of key digital enabling and emerging technologies, sectors, and value chains. The call mapping of regulatory requirements for the translation of advanced therapy medicinal products looks at the regulatory safety assessment organization infrastructural and knowledge needs to improve the translation of ATMPs from preclinical development to clinical use. The scope for the second call here, development and harmonization of methodologies for assessing digital health technologies in Europe, focuses on digital health technologies which are expected to contribute to better people-centered healthcare systems, as well as AI-powered health technologies, in order to facilitate assessment of their added value at individual, health system, and society levels, and facilitate their free movement in the EU. Horizon Europe has published 5 calls under the Cancer Mission, all of which are with single submissions and have deadlines in September. For an increasing number of cancer indications, potential mechanisms and means to prevent the onset of cancer have been identified. However, with cancer incidence steadily increasing across all age groups, parts of society, European member states, associated countries, and elsewhere, decisive action on primary prevention should be stepped up and made a collective responsibility. Implementing and upscaling of primary cancer-centered prevention programs would contribute to achieving this goal. For the first call here, proposals should be directed to the following expected outcomes. Citizens will benefit from the outcomes of evidence-based, tailored, and affordable primary prevention programs targeting known cancer risk factors and health determinants. Healthcare professionals and patient organizations will be able to provide evidence-based information targeted at individuals and families on cancer prevention. They look at regional and national policymakers and authorities who will engage in implementing and scaling up the most suitable prevention programs, including possible legislative policies. And finally, civil society, charities, foundations, and innovators will seize opportunities to further upscale and innovate primary prevention programs at local, urban, rural, regional, national, or international level. Today, the level of development of comprehensive cancer infrastructures and their capacities, such as their digital, research, and innovation-related capacities, vary considerably across member states and associated countries, which lead to inequalities, in particular in terms of research, quality, and access to care. Hence the second call here, strengthening research capacities of comprehensive cancer infrastructures. Proposals under this call should be directed to the following outcomes. Research and health policymakers will benefit from support to further develop or set up comprehensive cancer infrastructures, leading to improvement in terms of research and access to care. Research and healthcare professionals will benefit from a better integration between research and care. Researchers will benefit from innovative infrastructures to perform research and participated studies. And finally, citizens, including patients and their caregivers, will have enhanced access to screening, diagnostics, and treatments, improved care pathways, and more integrated care. Their involvement and participation to clinical trials will be facilitated. The next call here has a budget of 60 million euros at pragmatic clinical trials. Pragmatic clinical trials focus on choosing between care options. They evaluate effectiveness, the effect of treatment in routine, clinical practices, and some examples include treatment versus active surveillance in patient management. It includes combination of treatment interventions, determination of optimal dose and dose schedule, de-escalation of treatment intervention, and comparative effectiveness of different treatment interventions overall. While cancer research and innovation have generated novel treatment options, cancer patients across Europe need access to more effective and patient-centered interventions, which keep up with increasing demands in a complex and fragmented oncology healthcare landscape with spiraling healthcare costs. Furthermore, the COVID-19 pandemic, with its detrimental impact on cancer control, has demonstrated the need for different clinical trial designs with fewer exclusion and inclusion criteria that would allow evaluation of real-world effectiveness, driving better and more affordable treatment solutions that are widely accessible across the EU. The overall goal of Mission on Cancer and Europe's Beating Cancer Plan includes a better quality of life for patients and their families living with and after cancer. Project results for the first call on this slide will support the creation of a virtual European Cancer Patient Digital Centre, which is a federated network of patient-controlled health data infrastructures which enable the voluntary exchange of patients' and survivors' health data in a standardized approach for primary and secondary use. Proposals should address the existing challenges and develop a roadmap towards the creation of the ECPDC as a virtual federated network of national infrastructures of patient-controlled health data. For the final cancer call I will speak about today, the scope mentions that a national cancer mission hub will be established in each member state and associated country. Its activities will include awareness raising and coordination of the mission's activities among and with relevant actors in national, regional, or local research and innovation and health systems. Notably, these hubs will 1. Facilitate integration of the activities of the Mission on Cancer at a national, regional, and local level, identifying synergies between European, national, regional, and local policies and initiatives related to cancer. 2. Facilitate engagement of relevant actors and stakeholders at national, regional, or local level, going beyond the research and innovation and health systems to cover all relevant areas in cancer control and support policy dialogues on cancer. 3. Support citizen engagement activities at national, regional, and local levels, including new participatory formats. And 4. The budget for this call overall is €3 million. We at Argentum will be launching an official partner search for a consortium under the Cancer Mission, pending relevant partners. On August the 31st, my colleague Dana will be hosting a pre-launch webinar to prepare for this launch. Under Horizon Europe, we have IHI, Innovative Health Initiative, a public-private partnership between the European Union and the European life science industries. The calls here are for applicant consortia, universities, companies, large and small, and other health stakeholders, with a total budget of €135 million. The IHI covers up to 55% of project costs and 45% are via own contributions. In the first call, the scope is biomarker-guided, multimodal precision oncology-based on imaging, genomics, and comorbidities, clinical and real-world data. The development of new health technologies and to integrate them with current therapy concepts to create and explore multimodal therapies personalized to the needs of the individual patient. In the second, the scope states that it should provide tools for earlier diagnosis of heart failure, as well as earlier identification of patients at risk, including biomarker tools to assess changes in risk and measure response to therapeutic intervention. Applicants here should clearly outline their approach for data capture, storage, and sharing, and they should be regulators of healthcare professionals, patients, health technology, research organizations, and more. Large companies are not eligible for the two-stage calls. I will now speak about a couple of specific bottom-up calls. Under the European Innovation Council, there are 3 calls: the EIC Accelerator, Pathfinder, and Transition. The EIC Pathfinder targets the realization of an ambitious vision for radically new technology with potential to create new markets and/or to address global challenges. The EIC Pathfinder supports early-stage development of such future technologies where various activities at low technology readiness level between 1 and 4 are based on high-risk, high-gain science towards technology breakthrough and research. The EIC Transition is a new track under the EIC work programme that bridges between the EIC Pathfinder the idea to POC, and the EIC Accelerator, product to market adoption. The EIC transition funds innovative activities that go beyond the experimental proof of principle. It supports both the maturation and validation of novel technology in the lab and in relevant environments, as well as the development of a business case and business model towards the innovation's future commercialization. The expected outcomes of an EIC transition challenge are a technology that is demonstrated to be effective for its intended application and a business model and business plan for its development to market. The EIC Accelerator evolved itself to an important and very competitive funding program for European SMEs and startups. It is part of the EIC pilot that supports top-class innovators, entrepreneurs, small companies, and scientists with funding opportunities and acceleration services. As an EIC Accelerator client, you will gain visibility and boost your chances of success in European and international markets and benefit from a range of business acceleration services. The EIC Accelerator supports high-risk, high-potential, small and medium-sized enterprises and innovators to help them develop and bring onto the market scientific discoveries, technological breakthroughs, high-impact and innovative product, service, or business models that could create new markets or disrupt existing ones in Europe and worldwide. Here we have another bottom-up called Eureka. Eurostars is a joint program under Eureka co-funded by national bodies from 36 countries and the European Union through Horizon 2020. The focus of the program is the support for international collaborative R&D performing SMEs and projects working on marketable product, process, or service. Eurostars is not only part of Eureka, they also offer bilateral programs for funding, which are country-specific and differ from one country to another. It is important to add that Eureka is open to some countries that cannot apply to EU grants, such as Argentina, Canada, Monaco, San Marino, Singapore, South Africa, South Korea, and Switzerland. As to our proposition, we know that the abundance of funding opportunities out there can become challenging to navigate because of the complexity that is part of the submission process, in addition to the many details and guidelines that every funding opportunity entails. We have developed a unique method to increase our clients' success to funding while minimizing their efforts. We call this our multi-submission approach, which in a nutshell says submit to one, submit to all. By following this method of submission, our strategists and consultants are able to get a firmer grasp on the activity of your company, especially your technology. This allows us to better write submission proposals because we gain more depth of knowledge. Moreover, as a submitting company applying to various opportunities, you will have less to work with, be it financially or in terms of manpower, because we will work with your technology and tailor it to fit multiple proposal calls. Lastly, this method immensely raises your chances of winning a grant. From a strategic point of view, our work summarizes as follows. As a client at Argentum, we ensure you get personalized service with regular meetings throughout the year. The initial step starts with a kick-off meeting in order to discover the assets and develop projects for your company. With all this information, our consultants will suggest to you the open calls that you can target throughout the year according to your priorities and timelines. And once you have decided which calls you want to apply for, we will set a schedule together for the year and will transfer you to our professional team who will write the proposals. They will need your responsiveness in order to receive all the materials needed and to submit on time. This process is in constant evolution, growing with your projects and your developments, and also regarding the launch of any new promising calls. Our role is to guide you throughout the submission process and maximize your chances of funding success. It is important to point out that the process is always adaptable, and as a long-term client, we are always on the lookout for new publications that are a suitable match to your company's strategy. Later on, our marketing team will send out a follow-up email with a link to book a call. Please feel free to book a one-on-one meeting via the link. I look forward to hearing from you, and thank you for your time today.